Howdy mates, good morning. How are we all doing so far? Here's my first video I wanted to make this morning while checking out the Horseshoe Falls area of Cedar Creek State Park. So, I know I've done a video here in the past, but this time I want to try explaining it a bit more in depth this time. So what we're seeing here along this rock wall is an excellent example of looking at dolomite. I mean, most of it is your fossiliferous limestone. So there's a lot of different fossils going on in here. I mean, some of the different fossils that you can find include brachiopods, mollusks, bryozoans, crinoids, and among others that existed during the Ordovician period, which ranged approximately 490 to 445 million years ago. So we're looking at some old rock, you could say. Even so, for a second, just imagine, just close your eyes and just imagine you're at the Bahamas, right? Very well known to be tropical and warm and has shallow waters along the shoreline. Just imagine the same setting used to be in this area of Ohio. So, isn't that wild to think about? Due to plate tectonics activity, this land essentially made its way up this far north. But at one point, it used to be to the south of the equator. So this was all once a tropical paradise. I mean, I doubt that there was really any recreation at the time, because I'm sure humans did not quite exist yet, I'm afraid. So I don't think there were any steel drums playing or any beach volleyball going on. I think it was just our fellow homies that were alive at the time. But just imagine, this, where we are standing right now, would be something similar to that of the Bahamas. Isn't that wild? And you can actually see, too, just the distinguished bedding of the rock. And that's just due to the fact that the oceanic floor just simply accumulated over time. But it was fascinating. Back during the Ordovician, most of the marine waters were shallow at the time. But then towards the end of the Ordovician, the seas essentially receded, and there was some glaciation that took place. But yeah, just look at this. I mean, this is a haven right here. You could collect so many rocks if you wanted. You could spend hours on end out here if you wanted. And as a matter of fact, when I discuss about these fossils, I want to provide you guys a bit of a visual cue. Okay, here I have an example. So, I'm not sure how well you guys can really see, but here looks like it is an external of a seashell that probably belonged to a bivalve. I mean, even though the piece is not complete. And it looks like here, this could have been a brachiopod. But, as I said, rocks tend to tell us a lot of history. And as a matter of fact, I want to show you guys just one last feature, and that should about wrap up the video. Okay, give me just a quick second. Okay, so right now I'm standing on top of a large piece of limestone, and here you have a chance to see even more fossils right here. Do you see all these? Like this, for example, or even this, for example. These are all shell coverings that likely belonged to bivalves. Look at that. Oh, and look here. This looks like a mold of a particular shell that used to be here. It's truly unique. And here, we actually have a well-known feature called the Horseshoe Falls. So it's kind of like the same formation of a recess cave. So what happened was erosion happened at a certain spot, and it kind of made that horseshoe shape to it. And that's why this place is called Horseshoe Falls. That's where it gets its unique characteristic. But yeah, you figure this stream has cut through all of this rock over time. This wasn't something, it wasn't like Rome was built in a day. This is something that took a long time to happen. Yeah, this is a nice feature of Caesar Creek State Park. So alrighty, thought I would share that with you guys. I hope you got something out of the video. Really the point of me making this video was I just wanted to point out that, you know, for those of you who have a love for the sea and like to collect certain shells, you can do the same thing here if you wanted. And it does indicate that coral reefs used to exist here as well, which are technically one of the most important ecosystems in a marine environment. So you could learn a lot from these rocks. And coral reefs are becoming a larger subject just due to their decline that's happening. So hope all of you enjoy your Saturday, and Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.